the shot that Saban took at the Chicago Bears. Bro, I got this ladybug climbing on my computer. And he is just making his way
they're supposed to
around
bring good fortune, supposed
Is that what that is?
Is that what it is?
It is. It's supposed.
Where do you get that Chinese prophecy from?
It is. It's supposed to bring you fortune and fame. It's supposed to be fortune and fame.
All right.
Okay.
Well, welcome.
But no, Nick Saban had some things to say about what you should do heading into your next head coaching job. And I thought it was very interesting because he started off by saying Chicago is a great looking city, which instantly was just like under the bus real quick. He did this on the Pat McAfee show talking about Chicago and basically said that make sure that you do all the research that you need to do. Now, he talked about his time in Miami, talked about how he knew that the salary cap was going to be a problem. He knew that they were the oldest team in the NFL and that he still took the job anyway, said he had a case of the dumbass. Sometimes you had that, right?
Sometimes you
had that moment.
Sometimes you got it.
And basically that, the reason that he ends up getting up out of there and things don't work out is because he ignored a lot of the problems that were going on there. Basically, I took that as a warning to the coaches here. Hey, I've been in Hallis Hall. There's an entire scene with me on Hard Knocks, sitting there talking to the coach, telling him what he needed to do, telling him how he needed to develop the quarterback. I know some stuff about what's going on inside those walls. Also, he's now fired and probably has talked to Nick Saban since then. Maybe do a little bit more research before you just start taking jobs.
Sounds like a bad
To me, that sounds like Nick Saban basically saying Chicago should be a job that you look at from an arm's length, and if it's the one that you want, have at it, but just know what you're walking into before you get in there.
Good stuff, Drew.
That was
That's what I'm talking about.
By the way, we haven't done this. Over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. 200.
All right. My point is this. I mean, and you mentioned it too. Going all the way back to Hard Knocks. The reason why he was actually even on the show is because he's boys with Matt Eberflus. They have a connection, and so could this be one of those things
As
where
his head coach?
Yeah, that could
head coach. Could his linebackers coach? I think it was his linebackers.
One of those
coach.
things. Yeah, when he played. Yeah, it's like they have that connection. So could this be one of those things like you fired my guy, so I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about. Hey, let's give pause to Chicago. Yes, it's a destination, but maybe, like you said, kind of arm's length. Just look at it from a mile away and kind of do your research before you just go all in on Chicago. First of all, if you compare what he said to his own situation, there is no issue with salary cap going forward. We have $85 million going into next year if we don't retain Keenan Allen, I believe. We have a young roster. We have our quarterback. That's not even an issue. You have a very, very attractive destination. You have the city of Chicago. Obviously, everybody talks about the winters here, but that's about the only damn thing. Everybody from Stephen A. to whoever always talks about the weather is the bad thing. But outside of that, you have an attractive.
It is cold.
It is cold.
I've been
It is
waiting
stupid
about
cold.
it.
I'm not going to lie. It was 18 like 3 days ago. It was 53 yesterday.
It is cold, bro.
It is cold.
It's pneumonia weather all the time.
You know what? If you're a leader of men, man up, all right?
Oh!
Man up. This is weather, all right? Deal with it.
We're looking for Genghis Khan.
Yeah, you're dang right. I want the Revenant in my as my head coach. No, I mean just you see all of the pluses, the advantages to a job like this. It's still attractive. I wouldn't say look at it from an arm's length. I do say do your research as you should in any position, in any coaching vacancy or possible vacancy with the Chicago Bears. And yeah, move forward with that. Everybody sees the problems and the chaos in Chicago with the organization, but at the same, they also see the potential. And you could be part of that potential. You could be part of that change that's needed.
Did how they sent Eberflus out, one, affect Saban's opinion of Chicago, and two, affect how coaches need to be looking at Chicago? Because you basically sent them out there in front of a firing squad.
That's what I'm looking at. If I'm being honest with you, everything that Saban said, anything he insinuated, spot on. You don't give the head coach. You don't send him out like that.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that. That's wild. Realistically, that's wild. But here's a couple things too. You got to keep this in mind.
He kind of deserved it.
Here's a couple things.
You shouldn't have done it.
His
You
record
shouldn't have
sucks.
done it. Listen, there's a lot of times people deserve to get punched in the face. You don't always do it.
I get you. But I give you this. Ben Johnson.
Good analogy, actually.
Ben Johnson gave, his shots, which said that, hey, he wanted organizational alignment, organization to kind of admit that they had failures and things of that nature. Those were much more damning comments than I think Nick Saban said. With that being in mind, everyone knows Chicago has had this mom and pop ran organization, and they're supposed to be one of the most premier teams in football. You can't do that. You can't do that. So it's warranted. It's like, hey, you may be the head coach for the Chicago Bears. You may have the allure and the opportunity to sit here and turn it around, because if you win in Chicago, you are, for all intents and purposes, a god in Chicago sports. You are a god in sports, period. Yeah. You will get a statue. You will get a statue, right?
Probably.
But you will have to go through all of the turmoil to
Joe
get
Madden
there.
got a statue yet?
Who?
No Joe Madden?
Yeah,
No statue?
he got. I think he got one up there. He's got a face over there in Wrigleyville. He's got a face.
No,
So
he's the manager of the only team to ever win a World Series in the last 110 years.
Yeah, that's what I think he's got a face. I can't remember what
Hey,
building
listen,
it is. He's got a face on
he
it.
needs a Jordan-sized statue, dog.
Yes, he
You
does.
ain't lying. I didn't
Yes,
think
he
about
does.
that. You're absolutely right.
he broke 100 year.
Bro, like, listen.
sports.
Now the team kind of
Freaking
broke it
longest
in
in
spite
sports.
of him, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, but no, he's got something up there. I just can't remember what building he's on, but he's got a face up there.
But you got to keep in mind too.
Said call today.
You're in a situation where you may be undermined the entire time you're here. I hope that hurt, because you should have laughed like it hurt. You might be undermined your entire time here.
Yeah.
You may not have the opportunity to be the person that you want to be when it comes to this. What was the rumor? They didn't want any strong egos or any strong personalities.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you win Super Bowls without having a coach with strong personality? So, let's be for real. Chicago, we've done it to ourselves. You earned this L. Hold this L because, now this is what it is. And that's going to lead into our next topic because realistically, Buddy got some explaining to do for me. But we're going to wait on that.
Oh, you talking about Ryan Poles?
Oh, Ryan Poles.
Yeah,
Ryan
listen.
Poles is on the seat, bro.
I don't know if he's on the hot seat yet, but he's on the seat that is.
He on deck.
He's
The
on.
torches under
He
the
on-
seat.
Hey,
So he turned on
we're
yet.
putting some wood under there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're putting some wood under the chair. That sounded crazy. We're putting some wood under the chair, and we ain't started pouring the gasoline on it yet. But and for some people they have. But I think you have to give him the opportunity to see his plan to fruition. But like we said, we'll talk about that. I think for me, here's my thing. And shout out to you guys who have super chatted in. Go Blue said, trade McVay, keep Thomas Brown as OC.
I said that. I said that.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
you can
that
pull
would
that
be-
off. Yeah, that's number one.
That would be the under the radar.
Was he
Miguel
about to
said,
retire?
Miguel said Poles
Right.
got to go
Yeah,
at
McVay was
season
about to
end.
retire.
If not, no doubt he interviews Flus for the head coaching vacancy. Oh, he gonna re-interview Flus? He gonna run it
You know
back?
what?
Hey, still mad. We made a mistake, Doug. We just want you to come back on in here.
That would be
Hey, that's how the head coach in
That would be the
Charlotte kept
worst.
getting his job. Who was
Nah.
that boy that was on the Hornets? He kept. I mean, he had to coach the Hornets about 4 times. White Steve Clifford.
Oh,
Steve Clifford.
bald-headed.
Yeah, he did.
Bald-headed dude, bro.
Yeah. I think
Right, he
that
had
was
to coach the Hornets.
No,
about-
Steve Clifford had a bunch of hair. You talking about the black guy?
No,
No, it was a
Talk-
white
talk
dude. It was a
about
bald
black
white
guy.
dude.
Steve Clifford?
It was a bald white dude that they coached Charlotte. He coached LaMelo his rookie season. And we was like, oh, you get a LaMelo ball, you got to get a real coach. And they're like, run it back, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I think you got the wrong team, bro.
oh no, it was definitely Charlotte.
Well, honestly, I don't know why Poles is on the hot seat as much as people are calling for him, because he's drafted well. He's drafted well. And
That's right, Steve Clifford.
he got forced into the court, the coach that he has that we just fired. So is all of our problems other than the O-line falling on him? That's what I say. I don't think he's on the hot seat. I think we should give him a whole nother year.
We can segue into it.
Yeah, let's segue into it.
I think we give him a whole nother year to see how improvement, because Poles has gotten us incrementally better each year. What you want in your GM, you're not going to flip a switch to go from 0 to Super Bowl. So it's going to be
Don't tell
incremental,
Washington that.
ads to me.
Don't tell Washington that.
Washington had some bones before.
Washington did have some
they
players
had some
there.
bones
I've
before.
always said Washington had talent, but it was you didn't have a quarterback that could go out there and take advantage of the talent. Listen, here's my thing, and this is the question that I ask: what is Ryan Poles on your hot seat for?